So you can find all the recordings at the bit.ly address. You can also find all the resources. We have over 100 webinars, so you can find many, many, many different topics. And we also give you a certificate of attendance. So if you go to this bit.ly address that I put in the chat box, then you'll be able to click on certificate and you'll get one from American TESOL that you came today. You can download it and put your name there and show it to your director. So today we're going to talk about teaching with poster tools. Now these are online poster tools as opposed to teaching with a poster in the classroom. Now you can use these same ideas to teach with a poster in the classroom. So if you don't have access to the technology, you can always still do that. That's not a problem. But the idea is to see these really incredible, wonderful poster tools that are out there. So when we teach, we probably will have a poster project or presentation for our learners, because this seems to be one of those projects that teachers like to do a lot. It's good because the students get to be very creative and they get to take the time to show visually what they have learned. It's also a great way to summarize information, so things that they have researched or other types of readings, and it's a great way to review as well. And for language learners, it's really great that you have that visual element so they can put pictures and words together and it can all come together and it can help with the vocabulary. So the great thing about online poster tools as opposed to your regular poster tool is that it has areas where you can have clickable hotspots. So one of the great things about it is it saves a lot of paper, but it's also more interactive, and it's also, when the students prepare it, it's more than likely that another student can use the information and explore it because you have it online. And so that makes it better as a resource, because when you have a regular poster presentation, the student works so hard and gathers all this information, and then the student has to end up throwing that poster away because you never end up keeping those posters forever. They're very bulky, they're very big. It's very difficult for them to carry that on the bus. I always feel sorry for the students when I see that they have a project or a poster project and they have to carry that. And it keeps bumping into everything, and it could get ruined as well. So the great thing is it has clickable hotspots, but it has the ability to add text. And the great thing is that a lot of these different online tools that I show you have different kinds of font they can play with. They can play with stickers, themes, backgrounds, templates. So it makes it to where they can be very, very creative. It's almost like scrapbooking in a way, but it's online. It's embeddable, so you can put it in a wiki, you can put it in a blog, you can put it on a website, a Google site. A lot of teachers now are using Wix or to create these free websites, so you can put it there. The parents can see it, the students can access it later. It can be part of their portfolio, so that's very, very nice. Image library, so a lot of these different ones will also sometimes have Creative Commons pictures that the students can add to the poster, and they don't have to worry about having to go to Google and getting something that's illegal or doesn't have the Creative Commons. They can include video, and they can also include audio. They can even include their own pictures as well. So that's always a good thing. You may wonder, where do I start? How do I teach students how to make a good poster? Now, poster presentation skills are very important. If you go to any conference these days, they'll have a poster presentation session. So it's still something that's very, very necessary. And to make a good poster, it's not just something that you just put together and throw together. You have to teach your students about design and visual design. I actually took a course during my bachelor's, when I was getting my bachelor's degree, on visual rhetoric. So I learned about giving enough white space, making font big enough so that way others could see it. And so when you do this online, it's important as well. One of the rules of thumb is usually that that you try to make it around 24 font for big ones as well. But this particular type of, thanks Mariana for putting the website there, will really help you. The art skills will help you with the poster design. It gives you poster design basics, how to brainstorm for poster ideas. You can go for more help. So your students can use this website as a resource. This is where they can have their starting point. There's over 100 poster topics. What does that mean? That means that there's over 100 lessons and activities you can have there, because it'll give you tons of topics that you can have for your students to create posters. I'll give you a few today. They give you a 60-minute emergency guide, and then a lot of examples. They'll show you a lot of examples as well. Now we're going to go to, oh, thank you, Marianne. Some ideas and lessons that I've done with my language learners, but are good for all students in general. At the beginning of the semester, when you start class, it's good to have them create what's called a vision board or a goal collage. And what that means is that everything they want to accomplish through the year, they put it in a poster. So they can put pictures that represent those goals. It can be personal goals, and it can also be learning goals. So I like to mash them together. They can put inspirational quotes on there. They can put people that they look after or they look to, like their personal heroes that represent the goal. So for example, if they're exercising or they're playing a particular sport and they want to be better at it, then they might put a famous sports star up there that they really enjoy watching. For example, Steve Nash. I love Steve Nash, and he's a great basketball player. So he's someone that I usually put up there. But this is a great way for them to have access to later. And so they can always get motivated because they can continually go back and they can see their poster. I recommend Glogster. I think Glogster is, and you've probably heard of Glogster, but that's the most famous one. I'm going to get to new ones, but I really think Glogster, and then I'm going to show you ThingLink, and then also Bite Slides, and those are my favorite poster tools. So these are the ones I kind of stick to and I use again and again because they're just so great. So if you've heard about it, then sorry. But here are some other ideas you can do with Glogster. You can reflect on different readings. So if you read a book, or if you're reading a long-term book, or even this would work if you showed a movie. So if you showed an English movie, then this is an activity they could do, a reflection activity. They post quotes, images, and videos of their favorite moments in either that book or movie. So you can even assign them. You can say, for the summer, whatever movies you watched in the summer, post quotes from their images, videos of the favorite moments. And a lot of times you can find those on YouTube. Then as an after activity, they can post poetry or reflections inspired by the movie or the book that they read. So this could be even something that when they get back to the class, you can say, okay, you were on a break. So what were the movies or the books or the magazines that you read about, or the TV series? Create a poster about that. And that's really good because it takes something that they're interested in, and then they can use the language there, and then it can come up with the English language. They can display an interview. So this is another blog. I did this with my students where they did student interviews and they interviewed each other. So when you press play on this, it actually plays their interview. So they recorded that. They just recorded it with the cell phone recorder, and then they uploaded it. So with Glogster, you have the ability to upload audio as well. And then with the interview, they were asking about each other. So here, one of the girls, she says she loved hip-hop music, so they put that. The other one put a picture of a cat because she likes cat. The other one put her age, which was 9 years old. So they can add different points of reference or images to capture what the interview was about. The great thing about an interview like that is if you're going to listen to an interview like that, then other students, when they listen to it, they have those visuals, so it makes it easier to listen to that interview. Another thing you can do is have your students create online CVs or portfolios or profiles. You can do this as well. Erzge has a really good Glogster with her different types of things that she has done. She has where it actually will, you can click on her blog, you can click on a little video clips of her, so it's a good way to put everything together. I have one that's a little bit different. My CV is on something called visualcv.com. I really like that setting because it looks more professional, like more like a CV. I can add videos, I have links, I even have PDFs of recommendation letters. So that's one of the ideas you can do with one of these poster tools. I really like this. This is also from Glogster. It's a multimedia poetry. So your students, when they create poetry, and I used to have my high school students, my English language learners, create different types of poetry, and they would make this poetry book. And I really wish this was back when we didn't really have access to these kind of great Web 2.0 tools. So it was quite a bit ago. It was in 2004. And I really wish we did, because they had to do this in a big notebook, and we had a little flash drive. But Glogster and Bite Slides and all of these make great ways so they can even read the poem out loud. So that makes it even better, because that way they're practicing their speaking skills as well as their writing skills. This is one of the ones that I saw the students did, which was an online poetry portfolio. Now you can do this with different things that they collect as well. So this would replace the poetry book. If you click on any of these pictures, you go to this girl's poetry. So there are different types of poems that are that are linked with this one Glogster, and I think it's just a fabulous idea. This girl did such a great job with her poetry portfolio. This is what Bite Slide looks like. Bite Slide is a little bit, so Glogster is more like horizontal. Well, although they have a template for Glogster with this as well. But Bite Slide is a lot like Glogster. You can add pictures. It just looks a little bit different. So it's up to you. They're both free. It depends which ones that you really just want to play with and use, because they're pretty much the same. They do the same kind of things. You can put little hotspots and things like that. So for this particular idea, you would have your students research an animal or bug or plant or even a habitat, and they have to take pictures of it. They have to post videos. They have to say different things, whether it's whether the animal is nocturnal, whether it's a carnivore, and different things like that. And they can even add their own voice and things like that. ThingLink is one of my favorite poster tools, and the great thing about ThingLink is this week, this week, they came out with an app, so you can make these interactive posters on your iPad now. It's really, really great. I used it. It was so easy. I created this interactive poster in 5 minutes on my iPad, so it's really nice. What you do with ThingLink, okay, so Mariana is asking, it's really a good resource to learn. What it does is it gives you little hotspots. So you upload a picture, and it could be any picture. Here they're doing team and player stats. So they have their favorite baseball player. And what it does is you just click anywhere, and you can create a hotspot. So when you click it, it comes up. Actually, I can probably show you this on the iPad, because I have it on the iPad. The one on the browser does a lot more than the iPad version, FYI. So, but it's free, so that's okay. I'm going to open up the iPad version so you can kind of see there, in case you do have a mobile device. So you can see how you make these hotspots. So this is my picture. I drew this picture and I created it and I uploaded it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the balloon. I just touched the balloon. Oh, where am I? Okay. It's supposed to let me touch the balloon. Come on, buddy. Oh, I think I have to create a new one because I already created this one. Okay, so we're going to do a new one. Okay, so basically what it does is when you click on it and you have the hotspot, it'll let you choose between adding a video or adding, so I'm going to do someone, okay, so I'm doing a new one, and that's what it says. You see where it says add notes or video? So you can add a link to a website, and you can put this hotspot anywhere. So this one's with a frog. My son drew that, well, my adopted son. And it says I can add text or I can even add a video. Now, the great thing about it is when I choose to add video, it gives me a choice to go from a video, my video that I have, or I can add one from YouTube. So you can add different kinds of things from different places. You don't need to have it. You can have it on the browser. It works on the browser as well. So you don't have to have it just on the iPad. Here's the one that someone did where they uploaded their own picture, and you can see here where it has where you can add the text or you can add the video. It can be a YouTube video, and it'll let you search for a YouTube video as well. Another thing you can do is have them create, and they can do that with describing a hobby, a place that they traveled to, so they can put a picture that they took, an Instagram picture. And a lot of times you'll see that your students, they take all these Instagram pictures and they really want to share it. So you can have them put those pictures up there, and then they can make links. So if they're studying animals or animal habitats, they could actually click on part of the area that the animal is at, and they can put things like, for example, like a koala bear. Then maybe they'll put some information about where the koala bear lives and things like that. So there's different ways that you can use it. So you have labeling, and it's interactive. They can create a motivational poster. So Big Huge Labs is another really great poster tool. It basically, you manipulate your images. So it has a lot of different poster tools at Big Huge Labs, but it has a lot of different things if you want to just play around and have fun with your images. And your students, they really do love to do that. So the Big Huge Labs is really great to go visit. So you can create a motivational poster. You upload your own picture, and then you can add the title and put something motivational or demotivational. You can make little memes and things like that. They have a great Billboard generator as well. So this is like a huge poster, in essence, a billboard. But this is great. You can have them pretend they're advertisers, they're marketing agents, and you can say, we have to create the next billboard for, and then you can give them a product. You can break them up in groups, and they can design this, or they can each come up with an idea. You can give each of them a different product, or they can all be advertising for the same products. The great thing about this is afterwards that you can get them to do writing as well. You can have them tell you and describe their campaign, their advertising campaign, what they would do with commercials, how they would present on different types of magazines and things like that as well. You can have them create a movie poster because they have this great movie poster generator at Big Huge Labs as well. You can have them talk about a movie. Maybe you can have them come up with an idea for a movie. They just come up with the plot, the characters, and they describe it. And then to go with their writing is this movie poster. You can say, okay, create a movie poster for what you just wrote about in this movie that you made up. The next summer blockbuster, the Christmas blockbuster. Another thing you can have them do is a wanted poster. Now this is Muzi. Muzi is more for older students. So Muzi, because it has sometimes questionable content, but it has a lot of ways that you can play with different images. It also has a free app as well, so you can check it out because, and I believe the app is for Android and your iPad and iPod as well. So it works on different platforms. Your students will love wanted posters. The idea is to get them writing after this as well, or to accompany it with audio. So if they post this on a blog, they can put an MP3 recording of them where they talk about what crime they committed, so to where they were caught, how they were caught, were they robbing a train, so forth and so forth. Or they can recreate something that happened in history, and they have a lot of fun making these. Muzi also has a quote poster, so they can put their favorite quotes. They can put an inspirational message for themselves as well. I really like this one. This is tac.com, and it's still in beta, but you can put to be on there. It's a free tool, and this one was actually designed for people who are making flyers. So a flyer is a type of poster as well, and you can create an advertisement with this. They can create something for a band, for example. They have a lot of examples on there. This, again, is for older students because a lot of people actually use this tool to showcase their events and things like that. Posterini.com kind of does the same thing as TAC. It allows you to make these really cool, beautiful types of posters. What you can do is you can have them do flyers or event announcers. You can have them do something for like the upcoming PTA meeting. Maybe have them do that, or maybe have them create something where it's a fundraiser and you're having a fundraiser. Instead of having them make posters this way, then they can make event posters on the computer as well. This really helps them with design, and so that is one of the skills they'll need to know when they get out in the forest. It'll be really great if they have practice with these tools in making flyers and stuff online. And that's a good question. Mariana says, can you print these posters? Yes, you can. So you can actually have them printed and then make copies, so that way they can go and pass them around for the school as well. You can showcase different types of research. This is zine.com, that's in beta. And on this side, it works a little more like a magazine than an interactive poster, but it works really well. It still is an online poster tool. It's in beta. On this particular one, someone put their top 10 inspiring TED Talks. You can see the kind of summary of what's in this poster on the side. Now, you can't read it right now because it's little, but if you went to this particular one, you could see it. You can keep scrolling down and you'll see the article. So it is all the way, you just keep scrolling down and you'll be able to see the different types of images and multimedia. Another thing you can do with a poster is there's a lot of posters out there that are memes. And meme is something that is just really popular, that's trending, that people are doing, that they can copy. And the students really love it, especially young learners. So for example, they have a lot of meme generators out there, and I've bookmarked those in the Pearl Tree. So I'll give you that Pearl Tree address in a bit. But one of the things that you can do with it is you can have your students create the different memes. And one of the most famous ones that you're probably familiar with are these posters that say keep calm and so these are one of the latest memes out there. There's the grumpy cat. All of these are different things that students are creating online. This one, I really like this meme. I was going to do it for a Pechachka, and I ended up changing my mind, but this meme got really popular. You might have seen it on Facebook. What people think I do, what I really do. And I think this meme is really great for students, so you can have them do it for whatever they are. Like, for example, let's say that they're into baseball, playing baseball, then they can do for baseball players. They can do one for being a student, for being a teenager, and it's just a lot of fun, and it helps them practice writing as well. So there's lots and lots of cool apps out there. I was talking to you about Muzi. This is what Muzi looks like. You basically upload your photos, or they have photo banks as well. Now, once again, you may want to do this with older students. This is why, because they don't filter things in Muzi. So a lot of different teenagers hang out on Muzi and they post different things, but it's not censored. So you have to watch out when they are accessing this, just FYI. There's so many different ways they can manipulate their photos on the top. There's literally like 40 or 50 ways. So you can use that on all devices as well. There's the ThingLink app that I was telling you about, so I won't show it to you again. There's this really incredible tool I saw the other, I just discovered. It's called Gig Poster. This is actually meant for music groups. The music groups come and they create different flyers with this app. But I thought a cool lesson would be is if you actually have your students pretend that they are in a group, they can tell you what instrument they would play, what they would name the group, and then they can make a poster about their group playing. So this is all make-believe. They're just creating a group. You can pair them up and they can fill this out, or you can even put them in breaks as well. Graphite is more like a infogram tool, but it's really kind of great way to visualize information in general. So there's lots of ways that you can use Graphite to create interactive posters. Now these posters as well are very high tech, so some of these posters you can add as one of the posters for you yourself. You can have this to accompany a poster presentation at a conference. Now the good thing about having it online is when they click it, or if you would have used ThingLink, they can go to all the places you want them to go. Whereas with the physical poster, they're not going to be able to do that. So one of the things, if you do have a poster presentation and it is a physical poster and you kind of have to do that, what you can do is you can have your tablet on the bottom, and you can use something like ThingLink or that other poster, any of the presentation tools, and you can have it there so they can touch it. So it's an interactive version of what you have on the wall. And they'll just think it's very cool. The Funky Poster Creator is an Android app. It has lots of memes in it. So here's one of the memes. Somebody created this particular poster. So there's tons and tons of poster templates that they can do. They can upload their own pictures and things like that. The virtual poster, now this is a very cool tool. This is a little bit different, so your adult students might really like this. What it does is it takes any poster that they may be shopping for, and when they take a picture of this poster or painting with this particular app, they take the app and then they put it on the wall, and then it does augmented reality and puts that on the wall. So it's a